Fox News was cover the fact that the Post, which I believe is affiliated, saying that she needs to be impeached and removed for pouring fuel on the fire in Minnesota. She encouraged everyone to keep protesting, though she herself would not be. Well, she was there, she was there over the weekend. Anyway, Maxine Waters is trying to create a civil war. Anyway, how serious should you take the New York Post editorial board call for her to be impeached and removed? Well, a little bit less so when you realize that there is no constitutional mechanism for a congressperson being impeached. That's not a thing. You can be removed, you can be expelled, you can't be impeached. They didn't care enough to actually read the section of the Constitution about it. But anyway, I also want to show you, that's the New York Post, the best work they've done in weeks. Sorry,
it's just hard when there's, when there's no politician who solicited sex from, a woman who's got semi-nude photos online. I don't know, hit up your boy Matt. Maybe Gatesy's got more photos that you can publish without someone's consent. If there's not someone in lingerie on every in the New York Post every single day.
Yep.
It's like a tree falling in the woods type thing. Are they even a paper? Do they even exist? But anyone who's saying, can we not get it lost? Do not let it be lost on you that anyone's saying that specifically a Black American is trying to create a civil war. My God.
That's pretty terrible.
You think that people of color have a victim complex? Oh my God, your victim complex is so strong that you think that she's trying to start a civil war. Oh, you lost that one and you'll lose it again, damn it.
That's true. Well, there's a little bit more because Fox and Friends got involved in the new right war on Maxine Waters this morning. Take a look at how they covered the story.
The First Amendment allows you to say whatever you want, but what happened to peaceful protesting? She's asking for more confrontations, to get more active, to stay out on the streets.
That's right. If you look at a headline also inside the New York Post today, they dub her Antifa Maxine, which is exactly right. And she also went on to encourage rejecting the curfew. Asked about it, she said, I don't even know what a curfew means, says Maxine Waters. A curfew means that I want y'all to stop talking. I don't agree with it. Last time I checked, I don't think it was too much talking that was happening in Brooklyn Center after 11 p.m. or too much talking that was happening outside the police precinct in Minneapolis after George Floyd. There were riots going on.
Okay, so few things there. One is that they are pissed at her for being against the curfews. So the local government has said you can't be out after this time, and she's against that, and some of the activists are against that, and they think that is unacceptable. Literally the only thing that has motivated the right over the last year is being anti-lockdown. How dare the government tell me where I can go and when that's tyranny. That's the only thing they've cared about for a full year is you don't get to tell me where I go, with who, when, and what size group, what I have to put on my face. Now all of a sudden it's a big issue. They had a problem with her saying that if Chauvin isn't found guilty, we should protest, thus saying she supports him being found guilty. Yes, they would never want a congressperson to comment on a legal matter. That shouldn't be allowed at all. That's the sort of free speech stance that Fox consistently takes. All of this is utter BS. Yes. They don't like Maxine, they don't like Black Lives Matter. Every other bit of this has nothing to do with values or standards or anything concrete. It's just, what do we have to say to make you hate Antifa?
Also, you're not covering this accurately, Fox News, as if anyone would expect you to. But if you were to zoom out and to see the tanks rolling through the streets of Minnesota, the incredible outsized force that the police has bared down on protesters, that might give you a better sense of how these folks are being treated, maybe how you want them to be treated. Look, it's happening. It's almost as if the state works against Black Americans and people fighting for civil rights, and it works for upholding a racist system of policing. Almost. But no, but you won't show that because like it's insane to me because you and I think anyone, if you call yourself freedom loving or you believe in a free America, and then your town has got tanks running through it, even the white people, that's gotta upset them. Like, oh gosh, look at all this. And so just again, and I think John, you make such a good point, and I think we really need to always remember the second most painful moment after George Floyd being murdered was the fact that the protests that came after it were met with the exact same kind of police violence that they were protesting. And this is after months or already a few months of a lockdown. No, we don't have money for healthcare. No, we don't have money for masks. No, we don't have money for all of these other city services to help people who are trying to save their lives. Oh, but we have money to crack your skulls.
Yep.
That's it. And we're not forgetting that. We are not forgetting that as we move out of the pandemic.
Yeah, and actually to tie together that point with the point we were making about who's winning the national conversation, we saw that despite endless fear mongering and demonization of those protests throughout last year, that people did move in the direction of acknowledging that radical reform of the police is necessary.
Yes.
And why wouldn't they?
Roger Goodell, the NFL.
That even rhymed. Yeah, I mean, watching cops just, hey, there's a bunch of protesters. I've got an SUV. Let's see what happens when you mix these two things up and just run into them. Or just like we saw endless police brutality. So regardless of, let's say you're an absolute caveman and watching the George Floyd stuff didn't move you, it's hard to stand up to night after night after night after night of police brutalizing people all throughout the country. And then the president deciding to one up it by dispatching his goon squad to black bag people off the street and push them into Kia minivans. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.